Okay, Ashutosh, today Lok Sabha election voting sixth phase is ongoing. You know,
Yes, sir.
in how many Lok Sabha constituency today polling is?
I don't have any idea about the numbers, sir.
In Jharkhand also today is vote polling.
Yes, sir. Today in Jharkhand, in the Jamshedpur constituency, there is voting taking place.
Okay, so you are in your voter ID is from Jamshedpur.
Yes, sir. My voter ID is from Jamshedpur.
So if today is voting, so you should know, na, as a aware person, this is of general knowledge. So you should know, na, ki how many. Should I give you
Yes, sir.
option? Should I give you option? Can you guess?
So it may be around 56.
58, I think. Okay.
Yes, sir.
One of the famous TV personality who contested sometime back in Jamshedpur Lok Sabha constituency. Can you name?
Uh, no, sir. I'm not able to recall it.
Have you seen Mahabharat?
Yes, sir. I've seen.
Now, can you guess?
No, sir. I can't.
Have you heard Nitish Bharadwaj?
No, sir. I have not heard the name. Maybe I would have remembered the face, but not the name.
Okay. Sometime back, I think when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was prime minister, so he contested. Okay. Anyway, how many number of voters are there in Jamshedpur Lok Sabha constituency?
Number of voters? Mm, No, sir. I have not. I don't have any idea about that. I'll definitely look into it.
Okay, okay. Anyway, how many Lok Sabha constituency in Jharkhand?
There are, sir, 24, 20.
Lok Sabha constituency.
Okay, Lok Sabha, sorry, sir. I apologize. There are 14 Lok Sabha constituencies in Jharkhand.
Okay, okay, okay. And six Rajya Sabha.
Yes, sir. 6 Rajya Sabha.
How Rajya Sabha members are elected?
So the Rajya Sabha members are elected through the election in the Lok Sabha by the Lok Sabha members.
Rajya Sabha members are elected by Lok Sabha members.
Can I take a moment to remember, sir? I'm confusing.
Yes.
Uh, Sabha. Sorry, sir. I'm confusing. I'm not able to recall it.
Okay, okay. No problem. So Jamshedpur is under which commissionary or permandal?
Which commissionary?
East Singhbhum. Your district is East Singhbhum, but it comes under which permandal, or you can say commissionary?
Sorry, sir. I am not aware of it.
Okay. Kolhan, have you heard?
No, sir. I have not heard of it.
Kolhan, you are not knowing ki how many permandals are in Jharkhand?
No, sir. It is one of the disadvantages of traveling multiple places. So I'm not well aware of the place.
Okay, okay, okay. So CISF is your first choice, okay?
Yes, sir.
Other than deployment of parliament, can you tell me any news, recent news related to CISF?
Yes, if what is the news? I can't remember any news, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. You are from computer science background. Can you tell me generation of computers, you know?
Yes, sir. I have read about it.
What was the main feature of third generation?
Third generation computer, I believe the IC chips were the main component of the third generation computer.
And fourth generation?
The very large VLSI chip will be important part of fourth generation computers, sir.
Is India manufacturing laptops?
Sorry, sir.
Is India manufacturing laptops?
Uh, I'm not very sure, but I could guess that definitely there would be manufacturing industry in India for laptop.
Okay, maybe actually assembly is there. In general, India is making assembling because computers, laptops require so many components. So India maximum things are importing, and it means after that it is assembling. Okay.
Yes, sir.
There was some time back there was news ki 30% components should be Indian. In which industry it was made compulsory?
So it was maybe the electronics industry.
No, it was related to solar panels and all. The 30% components should
Okay,
be.
semiconductor industry. So,
Yes, yes. Yes, Aarti.
Okay, sir. So, Ashutosh, in your hobbies, you have mentioned about teaching and counseling. So, tell me the 5 qualities of a good teacher.
the 5 qualities I would say would be communication and engagement. Other than that, lifelong learning and leadership. And other than that, the fifth would be uh, working on self knowledge. That is the one thing.
Okay, so you follow all these qualities?
Yes, ma'am, I do have all these qualities. I am still working on it.
So, what method of teaching you follow when you teach students?
Yes, ma'am. My methodology was quite simple when I was a teacher. It was before starting any concept or any chapter, the first thing I would do is establish the fact that why we are going to learn this chapter. And so why it is the basic need, what is the, if we are starting the algebra chapter, then I would have to establish the fact in their mind that why this chapter is needed in in the real life application and what would be the use of. So accordingly, the children would try to relate those chapter and concept with real life, and so it would become much easier to understand those concepts.
So, what is the significance of celebrating Teachers' Day?
I believe, ma'am, on 15th September, uh, on the birth anniversary, 5th
15
September,
September.
5th September, sorry, ma'am. The birth anniversary of our former President Sri Radhakrishnan. It is celebrated.
Okay, and when World Teachers' Day celebrated?
World Teachers Day, I believe it is 5th October.
So, according to you, tell me the 3 measures that is need to be taken to enhance education system in India.
Firstly, I would say integration and modernization of technology. Secondly, would be increasing in a fund allocation towards primary education as well as secondary education. As in India, we are seeing much more fund allocation towards higher education itself. Other than that, I would say skill development for skill development of teachers should be done in order to promote a good education.
Okay, so have you heard about PM Sri Yojana?
PM Shri, yeah, yes, ma'am. I've heard about the PM Shri School Yojana.
So what is this scheme?
It was, I could not remember the full form. It was more targeted about evaluating the schools and making reforms in the education sector, mainly for the primary and secondary schools.
Upgrade the laboratories and all.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So tell me about the government schools, like they are not doing that much effectively. What are the reasons behind that?
Ma'am, according to me, there are 2 main reasons. One lies with the accountability, another is the lack of sense of competition. Wherein when a teacher is teaching in a government school, at some not it is not followed by everyone, but there is some lack of accountability from the teacher side, because he do not have to be held accountable for the result of a student, as in contrary to the private school. And a government school does lack sense of competition, because as we have seen in the private industry, they will have a sense of competition in order to establish them as a better school in that particular area, so that they get more admission and more funding.
Okay. So you have mentioned that you watch movies also.
Yes, ma'am.
Suppose you have to make a movie on gender equality. So what are the 5 factors you include in your movie?
If I had to make a movie on gender equality, first of all, I'll remove the word equality and I'll introduce the word balance. My more major focus would be to establish the fact that gender should not be considered equal in every scope, but it should be considered as balanced. Secondly, I would work on the promotion of women education. And third would be on women participation in sports and other such fields. The third would be to point would be to spread awareness about the value and the position of women that's there in the society, and how to encourage women to come forward and find their balance in the society.
So tell me the contribution of movies in society.
Movies have been contributive to many sectors in the society. First, I could say there are movies that are promoting the cultures, the traditions, and the religion basis. And some are more oriented towards science fiction, and some are more oriented towards spreading knowledge in terms of science and technology. And some movies are also like Three Idiots and Tare Zameen Par movie. They are more educational oriented and shows the position of students in the society.
So tell me the name of 2 movies which has impact like related to social issues on society.
And the recent one, I would say, the Lapata Ladies that have come earlier this year, that is targeted to show how still in some areas, in rural areas, women have been marginalized and have been discriminated and have not been seen as equal to men. The movie also shows a sense of corruption among the rural areas in policing. Other than that, other movies would be 12th Fail is one of the movies which shows the courage and dedication of a poor student, unprivileged student, how he can also achieve a great success in their life.
So you are going to join CAPF. Tell me the role of CAPF in internal security.
Then there are many roles. The first would be to maintain law and order and to promote a sense of security among the people inside the border of India. Third would be to control entry and exit of illegal products such as drug smuggling, and also entry and exit control of humans. Other than that, they also work on protecting the sensitive infrastructure and guarding the borders.
Okay. And what are the current security challenges India is facing?
The 2 main challenges, the most recent challenge must be the challenge with the immigration in the boundaries of Bangladesh and Myanmar. The other 2 must be the issue of Maoist insurgency and the Northeast insurgency.
Okay. And okay. So tell me about the terrorism. Like India is facing the issue of terrorism also. So what kind of terrorism India is facing?
The main kind of issue that terrorism India is facing is with respect to the jihadist ideology that we have seen in the West, in the northwestern India, and the lines of POK, where more of the terrorists that are driven by the jihadist ideology to establish an Islamic state. They want to infiltrate India and make Jammu Kashmir as their part and set up an Islamic state there. So this is the main kind of terrorism that India faces.
Cause behind this?
Excuse me, ma'am.
What are the root cause behind this? Why this is happening?
I think it has to do more with the historical aspect and the geographical position of India. India being stuck between some of the most underdeveloped and most extreme states we have seen so far, such as Pakistan and China. So these could be the reasons. Other than that, India have been historically a location of different empires to conquer, such as, and most of them were from West Asia, including uh, Ghaznavids and the Mughal emperor. So these are the historical aspects that have driven the ideology to this time.
So what are the initiatives government is taking to counter terrorism?
The Indian government is taking an integrated approach, wherein government is also working on the communication and transportation development across the border areas in order to provide much more logistical support to the army to make army and the CAPF to make the borders much more secure. Other than that, India is also taking up multiple counter-terrorism operation along the LOC border and the LEC border. And other than that, I would have to read about it, ma'am.
And what is the initiative of world towards counterterrorism? Like there are forums to counterterrorism. Tell me something about it.
Okay. Counterterrorism. I'm not able to gain the name of the organization, international organization, but the government view towards terrorism is that they have established a few of the states as state sponsor for terrorism, such as Iraq, Sudan, and Iran. And their war is specifically concentrated in the Middle East and in the African regions. And they have zero tolerance for terrorism to take place. So these are the policies.
So what are the challenges to counter terrorism? Like what, and also India is working on it, but still it's happening. So what are the challenges?
One of the biggest challenges that is associated with terrorism is that although all the terrorism are not connected to the Islamist ideology, but as we have seen in the recent events, current world, almost 80 to 85% of terrorism occurs in the Islamist area. So we tend to relate terrorism directly to Islamic nation, which is not exactly true, but most country tends to do that. And that raises a challenge towards the majority of population that are living in the other countries. So they have been prosecuted and discriminated due to the action taken by the terrorism somewhere else. So this is one of the challenges. Other than that, the area, the jurisdiction of other countries are limited to their boundaries itself. So in order to count what terrorism are concentrated in their country, so it is much difficult to infiltrate those countries without jurisdiction.
So as we see recently, International Solar Alliance is a news. Tell me something about this news and why it is important for India.
I believe Spain has become the most recent member of ISA. That was the news. And ISA is ISA establishes a much important focus in Indian geopolitical situation, wherein world is moving towards renewable energy, and most of it is going to come through solar energy. And ISA is founded by India at the Paris Agreement at the COP21, and it is India's way to promote the use of solar energy and see a world who can shift to most of the to make India independent to renewable energy until 2047.
So tell me some initiatives related to solar energy in India.
There is the recent one is that pump agriculture initiative. I'm not able to recall the name.
Is that PM Kusum Yojana?
Yeah, PM Kusum Yojana. Thank you for that, ma'am. The PM Kusum Yojana has been launched by India to provide solar pumps for irrigation purpose and the agricultural purpose, and also to provide subsidies to those who are installing solar panels at their home and also at their industries.
So tell me about Sustainable Development Goals and what are the 5 pillars of these goals?
The Sustainable Development Goals, specifically the SDG 30 that was SDG 17 that was launched in the COP21 agenda. It talks about things such as poverty alleviation, water conservation, environment conservation, and dignity for life. And I'm not able to remember the 5 exact pillars, but these are some of the things.
And what is the target year for this?
What is the target year is 2030.
So what are the steps India is taking for sustainable development?
India has put up a target to achieve self-sustainability in terms of energy and renewable energy until 2047. So that is the target. And India is working moreover in the nuclear energy program also to build up more and more hydroelectric power plants. And India is also subsidizing solar panels in order to promote the use of solar energy.
Okay. So do you know what is the rank of India in United Nations SDG index?
Index. No, ma'am, I'm not able to recall it.
That's all from my side, sir.
So you are a teacher also, you worked as a teacher. You are going for
Yes.
internal security also. Can you tell me name, and you are watching movie also. Can you tell me name of few movies where terrorist was a teacher? Or means in that movie, terrorist was playing role of teacher.
Let me take a moment to remember it, sir. In India. Okay, that Shah Rukh Khan movie. What is the name? Main Hoon Na.
Any other?
Yes, sir. Other than that, it would be an Indian movie. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recall it.
One movie, Jameen. Obviously, that main leading actor is not there, but I think you watched the movie of Jameen. The main protagonist is Abhishek Bachchan and Ajay Devgan, Bipasha Basu.
No, sir. I have not watched old movies.
Yes. So your father is working in CRPF. Can you tell me name of one movie where CRPF has been depicted?
I'm not sure, sir, but
Okay.
it was
Okay. Movie is
Karthik.
based on the name of a scientist.
Scientist.
Who
No, sir, I'm
is
blank.
top 3 scientists? If let us take all time, if I ask, name top 3 scientists.
Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam is there.
No. India, no. Entire world. APJ Abdul Kalam
Okay.
is not having basic contribution. He was basically an engineer, so he engineered the things.
Okay. Are you asking about a movie that was in India or outside?
No, Indian.
Yeah.
So you should take entire world's top greatest scientist. Top 3, let us take, if randomly you are asked, the top 3 scientists.
It would be Sir Isaac Newton, Albert Einstein.
Yeah. So movie is Newton.
Okay, Newton, yes, sir.
Yeah.
I just finished the movie few days back.
Okay.
That's
Any other movie where CAPFs are depicted? In that movie, CRPF specifically is Pankaj Tripathi is assistant commandant of CRPF. Any other movie where CAPF is depicted?
Newton. No, sir. I have to read about it.
Okay. One movie is Tango Charlie. Have you watched?
I have heard about it. I have not watched it.
Yeah, there BSF is depicted, and border movie also. Obviously, that is for army, but BSF assistant commandant is there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Do you know difference between equity and equality?
Yes, sir. Equality refers to distributing a resource to a differently abled person um, exactly equal. So if there is a person who is unprivileged and there is a person who is privileged, the resources would be distributed exactly equally to them. But the term equity refers to a phenomenon where you will distribute the resources depending on who is more privileged or who is more unprivileged. So depending on that, it would be allocated.
Okay. Can you elaborate little more?
If I have to elaborate this with respect to an example, we can take a country where there is a progressive tax structure wherein the poor will be taxed less and the rich people will be taxed more. So this is one of the example of equity, but not equality. But a country where there is a regressive tax structure and poor and the rich are taxed both equally at same tax of interest, then it would be example of equality.
Okay. Have you heard about term positive discrimination?
Positive. No, sir, I've not heard about it.
Common sense can you apply? What should be positive discrimination?
We can apply one of the logic that people or society, people in society are differentiated based on their positive aspects. So if we talk about India, we'll say, okay, the Northeast people are beautiful and they are more attached to their heritage and culture. So in that way, we are discriminating them from the rest of the India in terms of their positive aspects.
Okay, can you tell me any constitutional article of Indian Constitution which deals with positive discrimination? Though the term may not be specifically explicitly mentioned, but any article?
Fundamental rights. Sorry, sir, I'm not able to address it.
Okay, okay. No issue. Let's take you. You are a counselor. If a student in class 12th is not valuing education, no, there is nothing value in education. You have to counsel, yes, education has so much thing to do. Can you give me
Yes, sir.
some logic?
Yes, sir. Eventually, during my career, I have faced this challenge, and how I would tackle this challenge is by establishing a fact that teaching the student that a basic education and basic degree is needed, even if you're not much focused towards education and do not want to uh, want to have a career that is much oriented towards studies. So you still have to have a basic knowledge to, for example, that student wanted to do choose gaming as a career. So I told him to give uh, time to both gaming as well as education. But even if you want to become a gamer and if you want to go out and perform in other countries, then you would need a password for which you would need a 10th class certificate. So there is I would establish the fact that there is a basic necessity of education till some point. You have to study, you have to pass a few of the classes, and at that time, with maturity, you have to decide that what you have to do next.